Can you share like success stories of patients that thrived, because of this model?
Yeah, I can give an example of I was visiting a team. So I saw a patient that was intubated on the ventilator, laying there, eyes closed, flaccid, and had a propofol drip running. So, of course, I had to stick my nose in and I was like, hey, tell me about this patient. Why is he here? Why is he intubated? And
Yeah,
why is he sedated?
yeah,
And they said that he had overdosed on fentanyl and Xanax.
yeah.
And I said, okay, that makes sense. And why is he sedated? And they looked at me like I was insane,
Hmm.
right? Well, of course, because he's intubated, but they said he was agitated overnight. So I found the attending, bless his heart. He was his first week in that ICU. I think he was just off fellowship. And I am a nobody. I'm like, hey, I'm here visiting as a consultant, and I got some thoughts and ideas. And he thinks I'm insane. And this patient had sick lungs. They were full of vomit. So I said, how about we try giving him some opioids and some
Okay.
benzos down in his feeding tube so that he's not withdrawing? And then let's take sedation off and try to get him up. They gave him those meds down his feeding tube, waited a while for that to absorb, and then took
Yeah.
sedation off.
Mm.
And he had only been intubated for about 24 hours at that point. So he actually sat himself up, swung his own legs over the side of the bed, sat up, and you
Yeah.
could see the anxiety just dissipate from his body.
Mm.
And his oxygen levels went up. He could breathe better, he could saturate better.
Yeah.
And I could see everyone else in the room was like, oh, hey. And then he pointed to the chair. He wanted to get to the chair. And they're like, can we do that? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like he's still strong. He has a lot of
Yeah.
muscle. You want him to do that before he loses his muscle.
Yeah.
So he stood himself up, walked over to
Yeah.
the chair, sat down.
Hmm.
And they had all these people in the room ready to catch it, but he was fine because it was so early. And they realized he could sit there with a clipboard and he could write and he could tell us his needs. He didn't need sedation. He breathed better. His ventilator settings went down. By Monday, he was off the ventilator,
No way.
walking laps around the unit. And that really propelled the team into where they're at now, which is if you walk onto the unit in that ICU, everyone is awake, sitting in a chair unless there's a good reason for them not to be.